Okay, here we are. So if you see any question, Dirk, you can tell me, okay, because I don't see necessarily all the question in the chat.
I will
okay.
I will take a look at the chat.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, everybody. So we'll have a two-part session. The first one will be to explain what's the day at BBPO, and the other one will be with Eric. We'll explain all what you need about instrument setup for the BBPO. I remind you that okay, we have still that important page. A lot of information will be on the civil web page. Okay, so if you have any need or information, first look at that. And also, I remember it's the part of the registration. Okay, if you have any question, anyway, you have the Telegram group, and you have also Dirk, Eric, myself to ask questions. Don't hesitate. So, okay, that's the schedule that Carlis present on the website, by the way. It's the schedule of the competition. So it starts at 8 at the camping by the opening of the headquarter. Sometimes you have question about the last task or about everything, so you can go there. It's in the camping, so it's easy. And also you can get a sandwich there, make your own sandwich for the lunch. At 9:30, it's the transport. Usually at between 11 and 12, it's the briefing, the pilot's briefing. I will explain you everything. And the takeoff window starts, maybe it's a bit early, 11:30, I would say. The takeoff window starts around 12. And usually the task starts around 1 p.m. And then the task ends around 5, 6 p.m. We're back in the camping, and Carlis opens his scoring office so that he can get back the trackers and look at the results. And usually around 8, you have the first results of the task. That's about the competition schedule, but I will talk with you about something else. It's OIC. Okay, I'm an intermediate pilot. I've been flying for 15 years, just starting the competition last year, doing a lot of XC, but still I consider myself as an intermediate pilot. So I will explain you how I see a day in a competition, and more precisely at the BBPO. So for me, it's 5 phases. It's the morning when you wake up, until you get to the takeoff and you wait. So it's the waiting time for me. Then the start of the flying starts when the window is open. I will explain you about that. Then you achieve the goal or not. And then the last phase is the evening, where it's time to relax and cool down. Okay. So for me, the morning, usually I have a small checklist for every phase. So I will just tell you my ideas and what I am doing, and we can share with you what you're doing, and we'll get, I hope, a tip from Koen, who's a more experienced pilot than me. So usually the checklist is we try to have a smooth wake up. That means not having partied until late in the night the day before. It's not always easy to do that. First thing I do is to check and pack my gear so that I have everything to leave at 9:30. So first thing, checking that and doing the jacket, the instruments, the sunglasses, the gloves, and everything, the sun cream. We are in a hot part of the country, so don't forget that. There is often a question about eating. For me, okay, paragliding is not a very physical demanding sport. I would recommend to eat as usual, not too much, not as usual, as you do. Okay, it should not be a big thing. anyway, you will be able to do a sandwich, to do yourself your sandwich for the lunchtime if we wait too much time at the takeoff. Water. I will repeat that. Take a lot of water. I mean, sometimes, at the takeoff, there is no trees. There is a lot of sun, usually. So take at least, I would say, 2 liters, maybe 3 for some people. We don't have any source. There is no water at the takeoff. Sometimes I know that Carlis try to bring water so that we can recharge, but it's not always sure. So make sure you get a backpack, even some more water with you. So you will prepare your lunch sandwich. I find it useful to look for the weather report, and anyway, you'll get some last news on Telegram about the task. And then at 9:30, it will be the embarkment in the buses for the takeoff. And I have my advice as a rookie is to tell you, have a routine. I mean, it's quite good to do always the things in the right way. That way you don't forget anything. If you start by packing your gear, looking at something, eat a little croissant, and in the same order, you make sure that it's smooth. You're going smooth to the takeoff without being embarrassed with too much thing in your mind. That's my advice. And you, Koen, do you have an advice in the morning usually? You do
Yes, I agree with you. For drinking, it's not only drinking for flying, but if you land outside and you are not on goal, you have to sometimes wait for several hours for the retrieve. So it's good to have some extra drink, and also to have some extra food, or things like sugar or gels to keep
cereal bars and that kind of stuff.
something like that, because it's sometimes if you land, it can take normally it take 1 hour or 1 hour and a half for the retrieve, but in some cases it takes 2-3 hours. So be prepared for this. So
Okay. From my experience, Carlis is quite fast, quite quick. But you're right. If you land in the wrong place, it can take a lot of time.
Yeah, and then always take some extra battery charging for your radio, for your GPS,
I will talk about that
for your cell phone,
Yeah.
etc. So that's also a good advice to do. And a routine is very good. Don't if it's good flying day the next day, don't go out late. Be fresh in the morning. A very good advice for this.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Anything else to ask from you guys, pilots? Any advice from you or questions?
No questions.
Okay. We continue. The second phase for me is the waiting time. So we take the buses, the vans, and we arrive at the Larang takeoff. That's a picture of the Larang takeoff. And you will wait, basically. You will wait sometimes quite a lot, 3 hours, maybe 4 hours. So be prepared to wait. And so when you wait in the south of France, very important advice is you have to protect from the sun. You don't have any shadow there. It's you have very small trees, but not enough to protect everybody. So be prepared to have some protection, hats, even umbrellas. Some people take umbrellas at the takeoff. Find a setup place. The takeoff is very big. but you will have a place where maybe you will prefer to stay and to arrange your and prepare your paraglider, your seat and everything. So find your place. Prepare early. It will be very important. For me, I didn't think about that the first time. I was thinking I have some time. Okay, you have some time, but you have briefings, you have other things. Do that at the first place, as at the first time. Prepare everything and check your gear. Okay, arrange your wing. Do I don't know how you say a bull. Do a mushroom with your wing. Put your harness on top of that. Make sure your radio is attached and everything as the first time. And then you will be requested by Carlos and his team to get your tracker. Every day you get your tracker, and in the evening you return your tracker. So you will get your tracker, and you will get a briefing from Carlos, and you have to listen very, very carefully. So it will be in English, but of course we'll be there. You will be able to ask in French or in Dutch, of course. And don't hesitate to ask questions. Sometimes it's normal. Carlos, he knows everything about his task, about his region. Don't hesitate to ask questions. I told you it's the waiting time, so we have time. You will get a task. Don't forget to download the task or the waypoints. We will talk that later. We'll do radio checks as well. So Carlos likes to go for a radio check for all the pilots, and all the pilots have to answer very quickly to the request for the radio check. Prepare your instruments, hydrate, and hydrate again. We will insist about that. Talk with your team. We'll build small teams and your friends. It's a time to discuss and to imagine your strategy or ask question. Is it the right place to go, and etc. You have time to do that. Cool down, relax, manage your stress. Everything will be okay. And imagine your flight. And something very important, flying is not mandatory. If you don't feel it, if you don't like the conditions, if you have a hangover from last day party or anything, don't feel it's mandatory. You don't have to fly. You can even wait after everybody has take off, and you take off to go to the camping, for instance. Don't worry, it's not a big thing. So okay. So my main advice for the waiting time is to prepare early all your gear so that you can clean your mind with that kind of stuff. And Koen, do you have an advice on your side for the preparation part?
Koen is muted.
Yeah, Koen is muted. Could you hear me? Can you hear me, Koen? Maybe it's the end of the data.
Possible. I have a small tip. If you prepare yourself, your glider is prepared and everything is done, please take care where you lay it down, because Le Chabre is very famous for its dust devils. So make a good pile, put your harness on it, and if they are calling dust, run for your gear, because it's really some pretty much dust is there.
Yeah.
Koen, do you have a tip for us?
Yeah, I agree with that. I flew there a few times, so it can be dusty. So your harness on top of your glider, or leave your glider in your concertina bag before takeoff. It's very important. And the waiting time, if the waiting time is over, don't hesitate and go in the air before it gets windy.
Yeah, I will tell it just after. Okay. Any question or recommendation from you guys?
I think we had a question from Yves. He raised his hand, but
Yves? A question?
No, he just told anything to prepare yourself and protect yourself for the sun. So if you have a cap, if you have an umbrella, everything is good. You are sitting on the top of the mountain.
Also, sun cream, factor 50 is good.
Okay. I will take 5 minutes to explain you something very important that I would be glad that I've been explained before to me, for example. So that's the part of the waiting time where you get the briefing from Carly's organization. And what you get as information is about the task. And on the left, what you see is the briefing panel, where you get all the information needed to prepare your race and to optimize your flight. And I will explain you quickly. So you will get the slides, of course, as a PDF. You will get everything. You can read after. But I will try to explain you quickly what's on that panel. So the race, it's a race to goal. So we have to be quick at the goal, going through a set of 10 points. The task you see on the top right, it's written official. That means that it's the final data for the task. At the start, you get provisional. So that means that it's still temporary. We don't know yet about the start of the task and maybe some other things. But when you get official, you can be sure that you can set up everything for the task. You got the information about the takeoff. So it's quite obvious you on the takeoff. It's the launch waypoint. And remember that you have to take off there. You cannot decide to it's obvious, but you cannot decide to take off at another place. There is a right setup for the takeoff, and the organization is organizing everybody on the takeoff. And then there is the turn direction. Every day we change the turn direction, left, right. What does it mean, the turn direction? When you start the task, when you're in the big gaggles, in the big group of rings, it would be a big mess if everybody was turning in different directions. So we decide before the turn way, and we keep that way until a bit later than we started. We try to keep that turning direction, I think, until the first turn point, because we still quite packed together. So usually Carly's advice to keep the same turn direction until the first turn point. After that, of course, you can choose your turn direction. So it's the header. Usually you get those information. Second information is about timing. So you have the opening window. That means that you can take off starting that time. So here at 12:45, you can decide to take off. Then you have the start of speed section. That's the time where the timer will start for the race. So here you see we have the start of the speed section at 14:15. So you understand that it's 1 hour 30 minutes after the window is open. So if you take off at 12:45, you will have to wait 1 hour and 30 minutes before starting your race. And then usually there is a task deadline. Here it's at 18:30, 6:30 p.m. That means that after that time, okay, of course you still race, but you will be counted your kilometers, your distance will be counted until 6:30 p.m. That if you have any question, ask in the chat and we'll answer, of course. Then we have the list of waypoints. You have the start. I will show you on a map. You will better understand. So you have all the description, and that will help you to enter all that information in your instrument. But don't worry. Usually we use QR codes or simple codes to share the information with you so that you can enter that easily. But of course, on some instruments, it's only possible to enter manually. So you have the list of waypoints at your left that you will have downloaded before the week, and you will be by typing the different names of the turn points, you will be able to build your task in your instruments. So here you have the start, the different turn points. You see that you have the end of speed section, ESS. It's when you cross that section, your race clock stops there. So you end your race time. But you still need to make the goal, which is a bit further usually, to get goal points. And usually you have also information about the total distance of the task. Here, the optimized distance is on the left bottom, it's 50 kilometers. And if you do the distance through the centers, it's a bit more, but you will understand on the map. And finally, you have information, Carlos will insist about that. You have information about the A spaces that you must respect during that race. You have no excuse to miss that, of course. And you have also information about the safety frequencies and safety phones, but make sure that you have entered that before, because they stay always the same during the week, usually. It's just for the information. If you missed it, you can enter that and you can update your radios. Here, that's exactly the same task as you see there, but on the map. Here, the little green circle. You see my mouse, Dirk? You see my mouse?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
The little circle is the takeoff. Here. Okay, so you take off. So you remember, you can take off starting at 12:30 if you want. And you have some time to go in direction of the start of speed section. The start of speed section is the orange circle. That means that will be the circle that you have to cross after the start of the speed section time. In that configuration, you have to enter the circle, the orange circle. In some of the configuration, because the start of speed section is around the takeoff, you have to get out of it. But here, you just have to cross it and enter after the start of time. I mean, you oblige to cross it after the start of speed section. If before you somewhere like there, you have to get out and enter again. Okay, so it's a in start, and then you see in the green all the different turn points with the optimized. The red line is the optimized way. Okay, and you see you have the different turn points, and the red circle is the end of speed section. When you cross it, you end your race clock. What you don't see, but where you have the little guy there is a small circle that's the goal. That's the landing zone. Usually in the hang, we try to plan it in the camping, and you have to cross also that line to finish, to get your goal points. Remember, you don't have to land to finish. You just have to cross the circle to make sure. Okay, that's about it. Do you have questions? No? Koen, any remark?
We have one question of Nicola. He is asking if we can stay in the air till the start at SSS, there's a start of speed section. Can we launch a second time?
No. You can only launch once. So if you land somewhere, it's finished.
You might be sometimes, if you have a technical problem, the organization might tell you, okay, you had a problem with your glider, you had a cravator, and you landed sometimes, but it's exceptional. So the rule is no.
Yeah, and in Laragne, it's really not recommended to land there. So in Laragne, I would say it's done, it's dead. maybe at some of the takeoff where you just have a little cravat, you take off, and 10 seconds after you can land. Maybe it's sometimes it's okay, but no, usually not. Other question?
Antoine has a question.
Yes, thank you. So just to be sure, there is a QR code to scan to have the task on the device.
No, there is no QR code. The task is made on the signage. There is all the waypoints you have to add, and there is also the diameter of the circle that you need to add in your thing. Normally, if you're on a start of a competition, there are a lot of guys who are really quick in entering the competition, and they can share a QR code with you. But always, if you get a QR code shared from someone else, just check the board and check all the waypoints. Because if someone gives you a wrong task, you're flying a wrong task. So you need to control everything yourself also.
The board is there really you to check, but you have to know that there will be a task committee with some pilots, more experienced pilots, and usually those pilots, they build a QR code before. But Dirk is right. I have already seen pilots sharing a QR code, which is wrong. So pay attention about that. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. It's all. Thank you so much.
Yes, and sometimes the task is changed on site after 1 hour or 30 minutes. The task is changed, so you have to also change your task on your instrument.
From the moment there is official on the title board, that is the official task. But usually in the morning there is a task set, and then the safety committee is still discussing of is there something wrong, and then the task will be changed or shortened or something like that. So when there is official task on the board, that's the one you need to fly.
Yes, and the timings are not always set directly. So sometimes the timings comes later, and then you have to put your timings exactly in your instrument.
For example, in Spain, 1 month ago during the BPO, we had the window open. Time changing because we had different wind conditions. So exactly that can change. Usually, mostly it's the timing changing. So make sure that you come back to the briefing board, ask your friends, your trusty friends, to make sure you update everything. But okay, everything will be repeated. It's a special competition. We try to coach as much as possible, so you get information from radio as well. Okay, so pay attention as Koen said, to take care of dust. You will hear during the window open, Carlis saying window is open. That means you can take off. Window is closed for many reasons. I cannot list all the reasons, but he's the director, so he can close the window. You cannot take off. If you take off, it's a penalty. It's a big penalty. And you will hear about dusty. It's what Koen said. You can have dust devils on the takeoff. At that time, you have to jump on your wing. Never leave your wing open, never. Always close in a concertina bag, in a small bag with your harness on top of it. And when you have a dust, jump on your wing. Even with the harness on top of it, it can go, and you lose your wing. Okay, that's for the window open phase, and then you have the flying phase. No, it was the waiting time. Now window is open and you take off. I start by giving my rookie advice: take off early. That was my problem last year. I was waiting too much, and then saying no, I would not stay 1 hour in the air. And then I was taking off too late, and I was too late to reach the start of section, and all my friends were away and too far away, and I could not follow them. So we are there to fly. We have a nice setup, very safe, with Carlis giving the advice. So when you can take off, take off. Okay. So the checklist is usual. It's like a XC checklist. Do your pre-flight is very important. Listen to instruction. I told you, window open, window closed, dusty, everything. Take off early. Observe the pilots around you. You have time to fly before the start of speed section, so observe the region, the area. Usually, when you take off from Chab, you have to do 3-4 kilometers of little cross to reach the start of speed section. So use that time to appreciate the air conditions, everything, to look around you. Already have your task in mind. So position I. And near the start of speed section, fly with people. Don't think you smarter. Usually, when you do that, you down. You have to land. So stay with the groups. The groups is always right. I can tell you, it's always right. So top out the thermals. When you begin competition, XCs, you're not in the performance mind. Maybe some of you. But most of us, we try to be as high as possible between the turn points. So top out the tunnels. I'm sure Koen will have other advices like optimize your thermals, that kind of thing. But my advice is to top out the tunnels. Beware the airspaces. You need to learn them. Read your instruments for directions. Make sure you learn your instruments before. And when you a bit too low, as usual, like XC, check for landings. Beware the lee sides and the usual stuff you need to check when you're too low. In transitions, don't hesitate to use your accelerator. Usually it's a good thing, and mostly when you have wind coming in front of you. And I will show you something. Don't overestimate your glide ratio. When you do that, it's not good. And I will show you on that task why I tell you that. I will explain you. Okay, here you have. I will explain you those tools, but here you have that task, exactly the task I will show you. On that, sorry for the one using smartphones, it's but the red dot is me. And I'm going, I'm high, I'm calling even my son. It's real what I say. I call my son to say, Daddy will do the goal, it's great. And okay, I reach this end of speed section, you see, and I cannot do the goal. I'm 100 meters from the goal. And why that? Because I was so high before that I was sure that you see, I don't even make one turn there, one thermal. Usually you have very big thermal here. You can take again 1,000 meters or something. I was sure I was good. And because of the wind and everything and my non-experience, I made the goal. So that's why I tell you, don't think you smarter, underestimate your glide ratio. It will save you the goal. Koen, do you have any advice?
Yes, I would say the same. It's more important to reach the goal than to be fast. So and very important, stay with the group. It's if you are with a group of 3-4 gliders, it's more easy to reach the goal. And as a first competition, it's not for being the first. It's trying to get to the goal. It's more important than being first.
Okay, thank you. I will write it. Any question, Dirk?
Nope, totally agree with Koen. It's better to be on goal and late than not on goal.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, if you have, yeah, oui?
We have a question from Benoit, who,
Yes, Benoit.
who in the chat, who says, Carlis is advising not to hook up the wing to the harness before the takeoff due to dust.
No.
Is there an advice on that?
Do as usual, because if you remove your wing from your harness, you miss your routine. No. The big advice is to pay attention to dust. Don't be attached to your wing too early. Just attach yourself before you take off, and always keep your wing grouped with you. And if you have a dust, you lay on your wing and it's okay. But no, there is no specific advice. I would advise people to do that if they used to detach their wing. Yes, but what do you think, Koen?
Yeah, I would do as you used to do.
Yeah.
Just make sure your wing will not get lifted up by a dust. That's important. If you leave it in a concertina bag just before you take off, or you're in a bowl and you put your harness on it, it's already very good what you are doing there.
But don't go 500 meters from your gear, from your wing and your harness.
No.
When they are calling dust, then you need to be with your own wing. So, and if you, that's the thing. So, also, if you prepared for the start, you go with your champion, your mushroom, you go to the start, and there are people who will lay your wing open for you. You don't need to do it yourself. There are people on the start who will put your wing open and it's ready to go. They stay with your wing. So they will put it back then together if there's even a chance of a dusty.
Yeah.
There's a team to guide you.
Yeah. You have about 10 people on the takeoff that help every pilot for taking off. So don't worry about that. Yeah.
But it's not like every 5 minutes there is a dust.
No. Don't be paranoid with that neither. Yeah. Okay. You reach your goal or not? So my first recommendation is to land safe, as I told you. Choose if you outland, so si vous vachez en français. I don't know if there is a term in Dutch. Dirk?
If you cow yourself.
If you cow yourself. Make sure you select a good place. A good place means not in a lee side, near main road. It's very important because if you want to pick up quickly, make sure you land near a road, not a dust road, a real road. Land somewhere not cultivated with some available shadow. If you see trees, it's a good place as well to go and wait. Report your status immediately. We will explain in next talk how to report that. But your first thing when you at the ground, safe or not, you need to report your status. So to say, okay, I'm safe. I need a retrieve, or I'm safe and I don't need a retrieve, but because some old chap did stop with his car and told you, okay, I will bring you to the camping. That can arrive, so you can tell the organization, I'm safe and I don't need any retrieve, or I'm not safe, and then you will get called anyway and all that stuff. So, but you have to report that very, very quickly, because after, I think, a few minutes, people will think that you're in danger, okay? So it's very important. Pack quickly and go to the road, because sometimes, and usually, the drivers of cars are very quick. So make sure that you don't make them lose time. Keep fresh, hydrated, as Koen said. Have a little nuts or bar or sugar. Cool down, enjoy your time, because you flew anyway. Smile, and you will need to return the tracker when you at the landing. So my main advice is to report quickly your landing status.
Yeah. Normally, the trackers where we are flying with, they will start shouting at you if you're not quick enough to report a safe landing. So if there is something in your wing, in your harness, when you get out and you hear something beeping and shouting and making a lot of noise, it's your tracker and you didn't report a safe landing.
Yeah. Koen, any advice?
Yeah, also what I was thinking about is where to put the tracker when you are flying for a good receiving reception for the organization. So if you put the tracker in your back, it will not allow the organization for good following you. So it's very important that you put the tracking like in your side pockets or something like that in the open, so the organization can have good receive to follow you.
We will explain that, but the recommendation is to put your tracker either on your cockpit or on your shoulder strap. So that's the main places you should put them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any question about that?
No questions in the chat.
Okay. And then there is the last phase, which is the decompression phase. You done. You had a good flight or a middle flight. So take your time, have a shower, get together. It's very important to exchange, to speak about your flight, and speak even if there is a bad flight. That help a lot. Debrief with your team, share your feelings. There will be some debriefs organized. So listen to them. Maybe you will learn for the next task. You can check your trace on your instrument. That can help and share with your people. Plan your dinner, charge, and check your gear and chill out. I will not say drink beer, but you can drink beer if you want, of course.
Have a drink anyway.
My main advice is to talk, guys. And you, Koen?
Yeah, that's an important part of flying. Huh? Even in not competition flights, you fly. You are there on your own in the air, but afterwards you have to talk about flights and to share information. That's also a thing to get better and see what your mistakes are, what you have could have done better. So very important is the talking about after the flight. Yes, I agree with that.
Okay, any question? That ends the day at the BPO, I hope. Of course, we didn't address all the performance thing, how to fly faster, higher, and everything. But that's part more of XC course and that kind of stuff. You can find a lot of information about that. It was not the goal. It was to explain how we see a day and how you will live them, of course. Last word, it's important to prepare before the BBPO. Don't arrive not prepared. Prepared mean, and I will insist, and Eric will insist as well, learn your goddamn instruments, please. Because the number of times we see pilots arriving the day one and they're not sure how to configure the GPS altitude, how to configure 2 frequencies on their radio. Please, you are on vacation. It's not a big deal. You have YouTube videos, you have user guides, and you have AIs now that can help you. Just ask ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude about your instrument. It will tell you everything about that. So that's very important. Learn your instruments. Check your gear a few days before if you haven't flown. I suggest you have a camelback. Last year I have not. This year I had for the BPO, and it changed a lot. It really. I was thinking I don't need to drink during a flight, but it's not true. When you fly 3 hours, when you high, when it's dry air there, you need to drink. So have a camelback with you. I would suggest that you check XCON tests, XE tracks, task tracks. I will send you some links so that you can use them. You have that on X-Contest. You have a tool called XC-Stats. You have all the Fly Master events that you check. You can check the tasks that were flown there. And you have also YouTube channels like Flying Carlis or others that can help you. Look for the maps of the region of flying. It helps a lot. And I suggest you use Spotter for that. It's very nice. Ask questions to us to Telegram before, and go to the Chabre Club website. And just to show you the kind of tools you can have, I show you that's XC-Stats. You can replay the task
over and over again.
Over and over. It's very interesting to show how you did and how others did. X-Contest is a great tool. You can search for everything you want as tracks in X-Contest. So here I've put a circle around the takeoff of Laragne. If I do filter, it looks for all the search, all the flights there. Look here. And you can sort them by time, by pilots, by here it's sorted by length. Okay, I'm not sure we will do that kind of length, but you can go further and look for. Okay, sorry, you want to check me? Okay, I'm not. Okay, here shorter ones. It's very useful. You have the kind of tool. You have the Flying Carlis YouTube, but also other ones. Spotter, guys, Spotter is great. I tried. I just put it this morning. I know that, but they change always the time. So in Spotter, what you can see, it's of course all the balise, or the wind, the live wind. You can check the takeoffs and also the landing. Here you have the takeoff, the source takeoff of Laragne. So you have information about that. But you can see also the main landing, which is called the fish landing. But you have also the rescue landing there. So, and you have a small landing that we use sometimes here. And the main place where you want to land is the camping, of course. And what I wanted to show you, and what you can also look for is for the thermal layer. You can look where are the usual thermals in the region. And if you, for the wind, there is a great thing I didn't know, is you can check the wind at different time of the day. I think it's quite new. And for example, that's the valley wind near Laragne, which you've seen exactly what Carlis explained. So at the start of the day, here it's until 4, but usually it's earlier. It's south, it's southish, and then up it changes. It's west and a bit northwest. So that tool is great. Use it. You have the Chabre Club website, which is a new website where you find a lot of information. We'll tell a bit after. You have, and that we will explain after. Okay, so you don't have any excuse not to be prepared. And finally, I will put all those links for you in the slides. Okay, Eric, up to you.
Yes, thank you. And this is the a bit the theoretical part. We've had the practical part with Alain and Koen, and thank you very much to both of you.
Yeah, thank you, Koen.
Yes, thank you, Koen. And if you need to leave, I think that pure track is not the most exciting thing to listen to, but it's a matter of security. But if you want to leave, you're welcome to stay also. We're intending to have a fun week, and where we, as Alain explained, a lot of exchange, a lot of flying, a lot of experience. But safety is probably the most important aspect also is a very important aspect of this week. So, and part of the security is knowing where you are at all moments. So we've prepared a step-by-step tutorial to make sure that you are in the safest environment possible. So in order to track your position at all time, of course, we need to track your position, and every pilot will need to be tracked position in order to, of course, one, know where you are and do the scoring, but also in case of a problem, to know where you are and to locate you in order to bring you the necessary assistance. And in order to do that, we are going to have 2 trackers. And it's a mandatory thing in France is to have 2 trackers. So to have dual trackers. One is provided by the organization, and that's the one on the left. It's a Flymaster Live 1. It's a very efficient tool, which shouldn't fall down, which shouldn't have problems. But nonetheless, if something happens, you will need to have a second tracker, which will be your own instrument, as you can see on the right of the picture. That instrument, I'll define it a little bit later. So this is a picture of this instrument, which is called the Flymaster Live 1, that will be provided every single morning to you. You will have your own, and it will need to be returned once you have landed, and once you're back at the camping, you return it, and in exchange you get a ticket for a drink, whether it's a beer or a Coke that you decide. But you get a free drink in exchange of returning your tracker. That main device is the main tool to track your position, and, as I said, to score your task. It needs to be attached. It needs to be attached on your shoulder and or on your cockpit. It cannot be placed inside a pocket, inside the harness. It has to be visible and accessible, because some information might be sounded, as Dirk said. It may sound if you're not informing that you've landed safely in a certain amount of time. You will hear a very annoying noise. I can assure you, I've experienced it. Okay. So that's the instrument provided by the organization, but you will need to have your own instrument. And that instrument, it can be either a smartphone or one of these instruments that are here written: AirCube, Searite, SysNav XL, SysEvolution. It needs to be connected to a 5G, in fact, or a satellite instrument. So there are some devices that will not work because they are not connected to a 5G or a GSM signal. For instance, the Searite SysNav, not the XL, the SysNav is not connected, so it won't work. So if you have a question about is my device connected to can it be tracked? In fact, please raise the question in the Telegram. So your device will serve as a backup of the main tracker. So you will need to learn how to connect it to the live tracking. So I'm asking you, and we're all asking you to learn about your equipment, as Alain said earlier. Also, you need to know, and you probably have experienced that with your phone. Once you use it as a tracker to use it a Waze, for instance, it consumes a lot of electricity. So please also buy a battery pack. and minimum, we would advise to go for 20,000 milliampere hour. So 10,000 might do the trick, but we advise you to look at a 20,000 milliampere hour battery. So in order for all those equipment to talk to each other and to certainly report your position to the organization, it will need to be linked to a platform that is called PureTrack. And that's on the next slide. I think we...
Yeah, just a comment.
Yes.
So if you don't have an instrument with live tracking, don't worry, you can still use, for example, your smartphone, either with XC-Track or FlySky Eye if you have an iPhone. So it's there is always a solution, of course. If you have questions, again, you have the Telegram stuff and everything to ask your question. Last thing, don't forget to set up, as Carly said, the first session on your instrument, the GPS altitude. Because if you don't do that, you may have problem with airspaces and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So as I said, PureTrack is a platform that will collect all the different instruments. Of course, if you have an iPhone and you have an XC contest and you have a tablet, AirCube, they don't talk the same, but PureTrack will collect all those information and will transmit it to the organization so that it's readable and it's easy for the organization to know where you are in case the main device is falling down. So as I said, it's a tracking hub. So it centralizes the data. So you will need to install that PureTrack on your device, and there is so please do that before, because as Alain said, we see a lot of people coming on the first day and saying, "How do I set it up?" And I can assure you, if we have about 90 contest pilots written down, it's going to be a bit complicated to set up all those at the moment. We are happy to help, but we can't do everything. So you have two links there to learn how to do it, and we are going also to share you a step-by-step presentation that will allow you to install the PureTrack and set up your instruments in order to be ready on day one at the in Chabre, in Laragne, sorry.
Yeah, and basically, but as Eric said, that will be described in the tutorial and on the Chabre website. But basically, the most important is to create a PureTrack account. So you go to puretrack.io, that link, and you create an account. You link your instrument with that account, and you join a group. And I can show you where you should arrive. You should arrive in a situation like that. Okay. So here is the PureTrack interface on my screen. The first thing which is good is you can see I'm there. So when you have a little parachute, a paraglider there, it's good. You connect it to PureTrack. Eric has run.
I flew there.
You flew there. I see that Benoit as well is connected. So you see all those people.
And Nicolas should be somewhere.
Nicolas should be somewhere in Switzerland. There. And you've seen we have joined a group as well. That you need to do that in the interface of PureTrack, and you've got the password on bottom right there to join the BBPO group. That helps the organization to track you guys. So if you're not in a group, they will not type your names and everything. So okay, but there will be a tutorial. It's very important that you look again, learn your instruments, you learn PureTrack. It's a question of 1 hour to do everything. Don't worry, it's not a big thing. Okay. After pure track, you have to know, okay, it's a bit technical, but when you will land, either at the goal or if you outland, si vous vachez, you will need to tell the organization that you landed safe or not. There are two tools to do that. Okay, you could think, okay, I will press the button on my FlyMaster Life One. It's not what Carlis recommends. He recommends to either install a FlyMaster Link app. It's quite new, so most of you haven't heard about that. I did not before this evening. So it's a simple application to install on your smartphone. Or it's the FlyMaster Link app. And in there, we will explain during the week. Don't worry about that, but at least install that. And in there, you will add a group ID, which will be the BBPO group ID, and you will get a pilot number as well. And when you subscribe to that, you will have a simple interface to say, I'm safe, I'm not safe, I need a retrieve, I don't need a retrieve. That will be explained during the week of BBPO because we don't have a tutorial for that. For the others, you can still use the famous or infamous Telegram retrieve bot that you have already used in other competitions and at BBPO last year. It's a bot that you can register on Telegram, and you send a safe, red, no red, etc. comment to it. You can choose either one or the other. It will be centralized anyway by the organization. And that stuff you can look on the website also for more information. Radio setup, Eric?
Yes. It's also you need to be able to use your radio. So there's three important things. It needs to be easily accessible, because in case you need an emergency communication, you need to be able to access it, of course. So and for that there is two frequency that you will need to set up in your radio. The safety frequency that is mainly used by the organization, which is the 149.525 megahertz.
Or if you have a big problem. Yeah.
Or if you have a big problem, but it's not for communication with your teammates or to say, it's cold. So the organization may use it to ask some pilots, some designated pilots, pilot number 27. Can you say what is your status? What is it? So, but it should only be used in case of an emergency. That frequency. The retrieve frequency, that is when you have landed, you can talk on the radio and say, I'm at that location. So that's a frequency that you can use. So it's good to have them saved in your radio. There are memory in most of the radio. There are memories, so it's nice to have them saved. Give them a name, retrieve or ret or whatever you will remember, because if you have to remember and turn on the synchronization button, it will be a bit messy. If you have radios with dual band, that's even better. But I can assure you, I have a single band radio, and it does work for as long as you've saved your frequency in your radio. One important element, because we've seen that in some competition, you have people, they have the radio, and then it pushes the talk, the PTT button, the push to talk, and it stays, and nobody can talk because somebody is blocking the frequency. So we are asking every pilot to have the timeout timer set to 30 seconds. 15 is better, so that even if the button is pushed, the PTT button is pushed after 30 seconds or 15 seconds, it will be back in the air. So that's also an important setup to make. So please do that. And there is again a tutorial, but again, read your book, because there are so many radios. I think there will be as much radios as pilots.
And you have on the Chabre Club website, you have some information, the same as we provided. If you go to the prepare stuff, you have pure track, of course, but you have also the steps that pilot forgets, and check if it works. And I think there is also something on the radio, on the place. I don't remember where, but it's
events, I think. No, not events. No.
Anyway, it's yeah, there is information there.
Yeah.
I wanted to add something about the slides. Yeah, for the retrieve frequency, it's mainly used to talk with the driver, because sometimes, of course, your position is known because the tracker sends the position, but sometimes you hidden behind a tree or something. So it will be mostly used by the driver to ask you, okay, please get closer to the road or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to continue?
Yes, you can. Sorry, my battery is down. So
okay. So last thing is the last slide, guys. Sorry for all the technical information. It's a lot, we know. You will have to add before the competition, before the weeks, the waypoints and the airspaces on your instruments. So again, know the airspaces where you fly. There are not much. It's not like in Belgium. Set up your navigation instrument with the waypoints. And the waypoints, you can find them either on the website, the civil website. If you go at the bottom of the page, you see, and that's a bit technical, sorry about that, but that's why you have to know your instrument. There are different formats that your instrument can understand. I know that XC track, for example, can accept a lot of those things. Usually you take the Chabre Club WPT and it works, but for other instruments, it's maybe GPX or that kind of stuff. Read your user guide for your instruments. And also you can download the airspace of Chabre Club. All that information you can find also on the application that I try to find it back. Yeah, you remember Kali show that in the on the Chabre Club website you have the airspace link, and there on the airspace you can have a view on the airspace near La Haine. For your information, La Haine is voilà. La Haine is there, and you have those airspaces, and the main one to take care is the one that go to the west of the Chabre mountain, and which is restricted by those values. I show you that because it's also you can have the list of turn points, and if you want to download either the turn point or the waypoints, you can do it with that interface, and you can download also the airspace, the same that's on the civil airspace with that link. That's it. I think I'm done. I just check where is my presentation. Where is my presentation? Okay, yeah. Okay, that's it for now. Now, if you have any questions, go. We are to answer, guys.
Antoine had the question about do we need to in fact floquer or put the wing, the pilot number on the wing? The answer is no, Antoine. Yeah. So the tracker will do that. one important thing that it will be noted in the step-by-step tutorial. In your pure track, please use your name and surname. Don't say Fly Guy 66 or use Nicolas Vanouk or Antoine Deneux. I'm just taking two names I've seen here. So please use those names. You've seen the four names from Pure Track. We were using our name. It's important to put your real name so that it's easy to find you back.
So here we have a good example, Eric. So Rick, please, Rick DM. I don't know who is that. Please put your first name, last name correctly. So in the pilot name as well as on the label, so that we can see the first name and last name. That was an example.
Well, it's Rick de May. I guess the correct airspace is this one. He has put so Rick, please, indeed, if you're still there, please put your.
You can change that easily.
Yeah.
Other questions? Yes, Nicolas. We've seen also that some of the pilots have a D-wing, and Carles is taking care of that to make sure he is even ready to borrow his C-wing for one guy. Yeah, there won't be any D-wing in our competition. Don't worry.
It's not allowed to fly with the D-wing with our competitions.
Yeah.
And one of the big things of all the competitions, please stay safe. If you don't feel like flying, just don't fly. You can win anything. There are no prizes. There are no monies to you can get rich by flying. So please be safe. If you don't feel like flying, just don't fly. There's always another day.
Yeah. If you don't feel like flying, but you say, "Oh, I'm going to take off afterwards, after everybody," you can do that, obviously, but please inform the organization, because sometimes you have pilots and they go elsewhere. It's communication is of the essence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I hope nobody's fallen asleep with the pure track.
But we try to do it as quick as possible, but there was a lot of things. So Rick, you have a question?
Yes, the airspace file on the website, the civil website, that's the correct one we will use, or will it still modified or so?
It is possible that it is still modified by Carles, because if in order the airspace height, there's something, maybe normally it's correct, but we need to see on the first day with the safety briefing, then there will be announced if everything is correct or not correct.
Because it's quite difficult to enter this into the navigator. If you don't have a computer on you, that's quite difficult.
But if necessary, there will be computers on site.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. And I see Thomas has a question to say, will it be possible to debrief, to analyze the track? Yes, and even Carles is doing that with videos usually. Not maybe for all tasks, because it's a lot of work, but we can receive in the morning after the task a debrief of Carles, a YouTube video that explains, okay, look over the task, and I will explain you. And what we will add, we will have a table in the camping that will be for open sessions after the flights, where winners, for example, or experienced pilots will explain to others what they did to reach the goal and everything. So that's really a week that we want to be a week of sharing and of talking. So yes, we will do that.
Eric has something to share.
Yeah, just quickly, we will have teams also, so please register to a team. and the leader of of each team should be a bit more experienced pilot. So you can share also with the leader of your team to.
We still discussing how we will build the teams. It's not necessarily an easy thing, but we think we will build quite balanced teams. Not necessarily friends in the teams, but that's not the goal. It's to be coached. Anyway, your friends are there. But we will come back to you with that story of teams a bit later in Telegram. I see another question. So we will be sending the presentation and also the step-by-step tutorial to connect to PureTrack. There may be mistakes because we sometimes miss an instrument or a new updates. It's not we're not perfect guys, but we try to be as good as possible. So
we do that in our spare time.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you, everybody. If any question, Telegram as usual, or direct message to me, Dirk, Eric. Anything is possible. Thank you.
And see you in 2 weeks, guys.
And see you in 2 weeks. Yes.
Thank you and keep it safe.